Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam. I'm your brother Yahawah from the branch of GMS, South Carolina Midlands. And before we start off, all praise, honor, and glory belongs to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, HaQadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. And Shalawam unto you hopeful elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalawam. Something the Lord put on my spirit. Pray and hope that this is edifying to the body of the hopeful elect. It's going to take a extreme amount of faith to enter in at the Strait gate. Alright? For you hopeful elect, you believers out there, alright, the ones who trust in Yahawashi and will call upon Yahawashi in the time of trouble, you know, it's going to take an extreme amount of faith to get through this time, known as Jacob's trouble, you know, recorded in Jeremiah 30:7. And it reads, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." Alright, so we enter into a time like no other. The worst time ever recorded in history. Alright, and the worst persecution ever recorded in Israelite history. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Yahawa's chosen people, this is going to be the worst time for Israel. Okay? Because as we know, we got our primary enemy, the wicked, according to the Bible, the devil, Esau, Edom, you know, coming with that ancient hatred, going back to the time of Genesis, of Jacob and Esau. You know, you read in Genesis, the 27th chapter, you know, around about the 40th to the 41st verse, you know, Esau, you know, said in his heart, in his mind, that he was going to slay his brother Jacob. And we see throughout the course of, you know, history, you know, the dealings, you know, with Jacob and Esau, you know, as far as the lineage from those progenitors, okay. You know, Esau has been slaying his brother Jacob, you know, ever since the devil pretty much came into power, man, during the time of the Greeks, the Romans, all right, and this revised Roman Empire, you know, that Esau, Edom has established here today, you know, modern day Rome being America. You know, these devils have been slaying, you know, his brother Jacob. Esau's been slaying his brother Jacob, you know, especially, you know, the receipts during the transatlantic slave trade. You know, this devil, you know, pretty much, he didn't let up on us, man. Okay? And, you know, until this time, you know, we see now, it seemed like, you know, we got a little bit of wiggle room, liberty, so to speak. You know, the so-called emancipation, it seemed like we got freedom. But we're not free, man. We're still slaves under this devil, Esau, Edom. And, you know, through the spirit and through the power of Yahawashi, the true teachers, the elder apostles, and the elder bishops of Great Millstone have been telling us that this devil, Esau, Edom, you know, is about to come down with great wrath, right? And we echo the same message through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi, warning Israel that Esau, our enemy, okay, you know, he's about to come down with wrath, man. All right, and our people are already feeling it to a degree. Okay, you know, with the whole ICE deportations, and now Donald J. Trump, you know, Nero, we believe through the spirit is Nero coming back in the reincarnation. You know, now not just the deportation and immigration, quote unquote, crisis. You know, this devil also trying to stop crime. You know, starting with DC and now transferring to these other major cities. And who's the primary target? All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He's coming after the Israelites, and the focus is honing in on Southern Kingdom, so-called Negro tribes. Okay, so we're entering into a time known as Jacob's trouble. As we know that this devil, he has ultimately plans to fulfill agenda, a new world order agenda, a one world government, a one world order, one world religion, a digital prison here in America, Babylon the Great, and across the world, to where eventually he will do away with the dollar. Okay, the dollar, the almighty dollar that these Israelites love so much, chasing after the bag with the money phones, flexing, on their own brother or coveting, what their own brother has, so they'll rob to get that money or possessions. Esau Edom's about to transfer this whole system over to a digital prison, to where you're gonna have to take a charagma, a RFID microchip, the MOTB, the mark of the beast, in order to buy or sell to live in his society. All right, and if you don't take it, you won't be able to buy or sell, function, and this devil even gonna, tempt you by attempting to take your life. And that's the straight gate. Okay, that we're, that the elder apostles and the elder bishops and us entering into their labors have been, warning Israel about, and the elder apostles for decades, eventually, this devil gonna come after the prophets. He's gonna come after all of Israel, but he's gonna come after the prophets for teaching his word and his truth, for exposing this devil for who he is, his plans, his agendas, for coming in the names of Yahawah, Yahawashi, teaching our people righteousness of Yahawah, Yahawashi, getting our people in the spirit to trust in Yahawah, Yahawashi, which is only the elect, who's the ones who's going to cleave unto the Lord. They're cleaving unto the Lord right now, so that in the time of trouble they can call upon the Lord and be saved. Only the elect. All right, and that's going to take extreme amount of faith. Okay, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to eat or drink, without buying or selling. Obviously, not going to be able to pay your bills. You're going to lose some things on this side. This devil going to attempt, to take your life. But it's all going to be centered around your faith in Yahawah, whether or not you're going to get through. Because the scriptures tell us to define faith, that Hebrews 11:1, that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that's us believing and trusting Yahawah and his word, his promises that he assured us, man. The kingdom, salvation, protection, and deliverance, man. With salvation and deliverance, the same thing, but that's our hope. Okay, and that's how we're going to get through this time, but keeping our eyes on the prize, keeping our minds focused on Yahawah and his word. Because the book of Isaiah 33 and verse 6, it tells us that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. We're into a very chaotic time. This devil about to throw everything in the kitchen sink to try to get us to denounce our faith. All right, to stop calling on Yahawah, to take his charagma, to bend the knee, conform to his beast system. All right, but the elect, who have this wisdom and knowledge, we're going to trust and lean on Yahawah. We're going to call upon Yahawah because the Lord is in control. The Lord said all these things was going to happen. The Lord told us this devil was coming. The Lord told us he was going to deliver us, man. Isaiah 65 and 13, during the time of all hell breaking loose, chaos and famine, we're going think on scriptures such as Isaiah 65 and 13, where the Lord told us that his servants is going to eat, his servants is going to drink and rejoice. That's what's going to be in the elect's mind. And they're going to trust in the Lord, have faith enough to call upon the Lord, and the Lord going to allow us to eat and drink, allow us to rejoice, to have a stable mind. That's all through faith, man. Finishing out Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahawashi, is his treasure. Okay? And everybody don't got the fear of the Lord. Everybody don't got the truth. Speaking of Israel, that is, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because this faith that we have, it is a gift. It's truly a gift. Ephesians 2:8. And everybody has not been given that gift, but we have. And we got to utilize that gift as we enter in at the straight gate, a degree of difficulty. When this devil, begins to lock everything down, declare martial law, enforce this beast system and his mark, his charagma upon the world, we're going to have to lean on Yahawashi. Okay? This devil about to come in like a flood, Isaiah 59:19. But guess what? The Spirit of the Lord, Yahawashi, is going to lift up a standard against them. And that takes faith to know that the Lord can give you spiritual power, to have his angels protect you, to provide for you in dire straits. Okay? And we know that at the end all be all, when this devil does begin to see him, all right, 2/3 in these heathens out here, because the elect, all right, they're not going to take the charagma through the spirit and the power of Yahawashi, according to Revelation 3:10, that the Lord is going to keep, the elect, the ones that keep the word of the Lord's patience from the hour of temptation that's going to come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right? We know that the end all be all, when this devil begins to see him 2/3 in these heathens out here, okay, here in America, Babylon the Great, what is the Lord going to bring? Thermonuclear destruction. And that takes faith in itself as well. Okay? The end result of World War III, okay, the nations fighting against one another, which the Lord is mustering the hosts of the battle, putting on these spirits to, get ready for World War III, to fulfill prophecy and shoot missiles on America, Babylon the Great. That's going to take faith in itself. So we standing in the very place we're prophesying that's going to be destroyed. That takes faith in itself, to know that Yahawashi going to deliver us. The Heavenly Father going to send forth his right hand, send forth Yahawashi, with a massive fathership accompanied with the heavenly host to deliver his elect from America, Babylon the Great, where the bulk of the Israelites are, which is the 1/3 is going to be delivered according to Zechariah 13:8, and 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. All right, but the 1/3 is going to be left to be delivered, the elect. Okay, that takes faith to know that Yahawashi coming with a fathership accompanied with heavenly hosts to deliver us and to fight on our behalf. Brothers, the bulk of the elect is going to get delivered out of America, Babylon the Great. And we know, also our brothers scattered throughout the four corners of the earth is going to get delivered as well. That takes faith, man. Okay? Isaiah 68:20. You can read a little bit on down as well. It's all good. But he that is our power is the power of salvation. Yahawashi is the one that's going to deliver us, man. We believe in that. Okay? Hence the reason why we go out week in and week out, day in and day out, especially week in and week out, out there on the highways and the byways, teaching his word, Yahawashi, prophesying unto Israel as the Lord commanded us to do, to give Israel warning from him, according to Ezekiel 3:17, being watchmen for Yahawashi, people, you Israelites, man. Okay? That takes faith, man. Okay? Meanwhile, losing things. Sirach 2:1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, so you're going to be tested. And them tests, them fiery trials, them afflictions, the furnace of adversity, that's the try your faith, the fiery trial. Okay? Oh, that 1 Peter 4:12, the fiery trial, which is to try you. Okay? The testing of your faith, and the ultimate test of the hour of temptation is coming up. This devil is about to come in like a flood. This devil, he's coming with that great wrath, Revelation 12:12, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And we know that his time is short as well. Hence why this devil is about to bring it. So why should we give up? Don't give up at the finish line, man. Don't fumble the ball at the 1 yard line. Just using a football analogy, football season back on and popping. Don't fumble at the 1 yard line. Okay? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi got us. Alright? The elect, pursuing back to 2nd Esdras 9-7, is going to be saved through their faith and by their works and their faith. Alright? Which goes hand in hand according to the book of St. James, I believe the 2nd chapter and the 18th verse. Alright? You show me your faith without thy works, I'll show you my faith by my works, to roughly paraphrase, man. That's how the elect, pursuant to 2nd Esdras 7-9, the elect is going to be saved by their works and their faith. Okay? So continue to do the work, man. Alright? Continue to keep your hand to the plow. Continue to trust, call upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, establish that relationship, praying, fasting. Okay? And we about to see that our faith, which I'll say once again, Ephesians 2:8, this gift that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has given us, it's going to pay off in the end, man. Okay? All the ones who mocked and scoffed against us, the non-believers, whether it's relatives, whether it's people, passing on the highways and the byways, scoffers on the comment boards, all them niggas is about to lose. They about to fail. And, recent video lesson that the elder apostle Rawchaa made, and many other brothers that made responses to it, we finna win. Okay? Quite literally, we finna win. Okay? And these wicked 2/3 Israelites, pursuant to 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, I believe the 4th verse, these niggas about to lose, man. Okay, all the unfaithful, the ones who lack faith, who have not been given that gift of faith to trust in the Lord during this time, to enter in at the Strait gate, to receive salvation, them niggas about to lose. All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Lord, will us edifying through the Spirit and the power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to you, hopeful elect. This has been in transit, so the reason why I didn't quite read the scriptures on screen. And also, too, they have a law here in South Carolina, to where they recently passed it, to where you'll get some points taken off of your driver's license, possibly suspend your license. You can get some trouble for having your phone in your hand while driving. So, just trying to stay safe and also, be a law-abiding citizen. But nonetheless, Lord wills edifying to you elect. With that I say shalom, Shabbat shalom to the elect.